Hey and welcome. I'm Hammeh, bit of a different video today. We're jumping into new Heroes of the Storm hero Kel'Thuzad's hero lore, voice lines and interactions. You might know him from Hearthstone, WarCraft or World of Warcraft 2. If you're an Overwatch fan, please do give this video a go, let me know what you think, or click the playlist link below for my latest Overwatch videos. Before any game starts in Heroes of the Storm and during the game on various triggers, heroes chatter with and react to each other in some funny in-game voice interactions. These give us some great insights into hero character interests and backstories, just like Overwatch. In this video we're looking at Kel'Thuzad through his interactions with fellow heroes and villains. Once a member of the most powerful council of magic users in the Warcraft world, Kel'Thuzad's desire for more knowledge and power over life itself led him to becoming one of Azeroth's most feared names and forces, one that even death has yet to fully claim. Like many other Warcraft heroes, Kel'Thuzad's story is a long one from Warcraft 3 and the beginnings of World of Warcraft onwards, so I'll give you the highlights to start with, so you can understand some of his lines if you're not familiar with Warcraft. He has a load of fun references to Warcraft, Hearthstone and more in his lines and descriptions, time codes to skip in the description below. Before the Second War or the events of the Warcraft 2 real-time strategy game, Kel'Thuzad was a member of the Council of Six, the High Council of an organisation called the Kirin Tor, a group of the most powerful mages in Azeroth who were the masters of the flying city of Dalaran. When the first Lich King, under the sway of the demons of the Burning Legion, arrived in the world of Azeroth, a handful of powerful individuals across the world heard his call from the frozen continent of Northrend. Of those who heard it, Kel'Thuzad was the most notable of and the first to answer. Considered a maverick for years due to his insistence on studying the forbidden arts of necromancy, Kel'Thuzad was given a warning from the mage Antonidas: be stripped of his rank and holdings and exiled unless he abandoned his madness of looking into necromancy. Leaving Dalaran forever, after long months of trekking through the Arctic wastelands, he finally reached Icecrown in Northrend, where he met the Lich King. Promised immortality and great power in exchange for his loyalty and obedience, Kel'Thuzad accepted his first mission from the Lich King: to go back into the world and found a religion that would worship the Lich King as a god. Returning to one of the other continents of Azeroth called Lordaeron in disguise, over some years Kel'Thuzad established a clandestine brotherhood called the Cult of the Damned. It promised its members social equality and eternal life in exchange for their service and obedience to the Lich King. This was so successful over a few years that eventually the Lich King placed his plot into action. Placing his energies and powers into a number of portable plague cauldrons, Lordaeron's northern villages were contaminated almost immediately. And just as in Northrend, anyone who contracted the plague died and arose as the Lich King's willing slaves. Discovered by noted mage Jaina Proudmoore and Prince Arthas, the heir to the throne of Lordaeron, Kel'Thuzad quickly fled, but was hunted down and killed by Arthas. However, with his dying breath, he told Arthas that his death would actually mean little in the scheme of things. This was to be proven in a series of increasingly unhinged actions. Arthas tried to stop the plague from taking over Lordaeron. However, in an increasingly corrupted descent into madness, he travelled to Northrend, slew a dreadlord, became corrupted, betrayed his kingdom, killed his father, and became a servant of the Lich King. Kel'Thuzad began to appear to Arthas in haunting visions as a ghostly apparition, and promised to explain why once he walked the earth again. However, there was only one way this could happen. Arthas began a slow procession with his undead towards the Sunwell, a powerful magical well of energy in Silvermoon City. Fighting against Sylvanas Windrunner, eventually he prevailed. Slaying her and resurrecting her as a banshee bound in his service, Arthas then placed Kel'Thuzad's remains within the Sunwell, and using the well's energies, Kel'Thuzad was reborn into the terrifying form of a lich. After that, Kel'Thuzad fought many times on behalf and with Arthas, both as a Death Knight and when he was to become the Lich King as a servant of his. In the original Naxxramas World of Warcraft raid in 2010, would-be adventurers fought him as a boss in his floating necropolis. Defeated by the adventurers, Kel'Thuzad wasn't done yet, and in wrath of the Lich King he once again took control of his citadel, and once again was defeated by adventurers. The fate of his phylactery, the object containing his soul that prevents him from death, and therefore Kel'Thuzad's fate is still unknown to this day. Okay, let's jump onto Kel'Thuzad's lines. Now, for those newer to Blizzard games, with Overwatch or otherwise, ever since the original WarCraft real-time strategy games, Blizzard has been known for poke noises. If you click a character multiple times, they utter stranger and funnier things each time, some even getting rather annoyed. From the original WarCraft through StarCraft, World of Warcraft as well, Heroes of the Storm is no different in continuing this tradition. So here are Kel'Thuzad's poke lines fresh from the PTR.
You called? Is something amiss? I'm still awaiting that eternal reward, you know. What's taking forever? 10 years ago, I was a nobody. Then I started my own religion. Now I have a glorious floating citadel, and you could too, if you just read my book, Striking It Lich, the easy way. At this point, the Cult of the Damned is a cult classic.
The cult that Arthas started on the original Lich King's behalf, of course.
You heroes were so busy looting your precious Tier 7, you completely forgot to look for my phylactery. Fools.
Basically saying that World of Warcraft raiders were so busy getting loot that they forgot to find the thing that would have actually killed him off for good.
Wait, there's a Lich King and a Skeleton King? I hate having to choose between my job and my home life.
Reference to the Skeleton King from Diablo. Lyric.
King Arthas once forged a blade in my honor. He named it Blood Surge, the Blade of Agony. Honestly, it was a little much. I let him keep it.
A weapon that you could loot from the Lich King in Wrath of the Lich King, I believe, in World of Warcraft.
The darkness guides me. He's the only one with GPS, after all. Spreading the plague was a lot easier back before everything went all gluten-free.
The plague that Kel'Thuzad helped spread in Lordaeron in World of Warcraft that I discussed in the lore section was partially spread through infected wheat and grain. So this is the gluten-free reference, harking back to that.
The best part of being a lich, seeing my breath freeze whenever I want. Neat. Originally, it took 40 heroes to defeat me. I heard Arthas got beaten by 10. Makes you question who the real Lich King is, doesn't it?
Another World of Warcraft reference, the original Naxxramas raid was a 40-man raid back in the early days of World of Warcraft. The Lich King in Icecrown Citadel, I believe, could be defeated with 10 men at its very least. So he's throwing some shade at the Lich King.
Oh no, don't you worry, Mr. Bigglesworth. I won't let anyone harm you this time.
In the Naxxramas raid, when adventurers first went inside the dungeon, they could see a cat called Mr. Bigglesworth, who was apparently the last living thing in there and Kel'Thuzad's pet. He's a bit of a joke that's referred to several times when anything to do with Kel'Thuzad comes up.
How dare you poke the Archlich of Naxxramas, Lich Lord of the Plaguelands, Commander of the Dread Necropolis, Master and founder of the Cult of the Damned, formerly of the Council of Six, Summoner of Archimond the Defiler, the betrayer of humanity, Hearthstone enthusiast, and Majordomo to the Lich King himself, Kel'Thuzad Pre-Game. Oh wait, I forgot creator of the abomination. Can we take it again from the top? What do you mean, no? Fine. But I'm taking your soul for this.
This very long list of true titles is actually Blizzard referencing a community meme in the Heroes of the Storm community. We have Robot Dr. Robot on Reddit to thank for this. Over a year ago, he started posting in the weekly Heroes of the Storm subreddit Rage thread with a list of titles demanding where Kel'Thuzad was. And then this got extended and extended until the long list of titles that you hear before you now. So Blizzard responding to a community in joke there, which is really, really awesome. Okay, time for Kel'Thuzad interactions from before Heroes of the Storm matches actually start. Now, as he's so new, not all of the responses from other heroes are specific just yet, but he has a fair few with different new skins. Now, Anub'arak, the Majordomo of the Lich King, was killed when the original Lich King came to Northrend and then raised, as well as other Nerubian spider-like creatures, to serve his bidding. He actually escorted Kel'Thuzad as a human to his first meeting with the Lich King.
Must you ask? Ready to let loose your wrath?
Yes, to tear them apart.
Arthas's journey into darkness as he tried to spare his kingdom from the Lich King and Kel'Thuzad's plague has been well documented into his descent into becoming the Lich King himself. Kel'Thuzad and Arthas fought together in Lordaeron when Arthas was a Death Knight before his ascension of sorts to the Frozen Throne, so the two can have voice lines that make sense either with Arthas in his Arthas skin or that of the Lich King.
My king, let us scourge the Nexus of the living.
Without question. Come, servant. We have a realm to conquer.
Then, by the will of the Lich King, they shall be destroyed.
Now, Kel'Thuzad has lines to go with undead and demons. As a necromancer who spread the plague of undeath, the lines with undead make perfect sense, but also his lines with demons too. Now, the original Lich King, Ner'zhul, was a servant of the Burning Legion, who were effectively in the WarCraft universe, gross simplification, interdimensional, existence-destroying demonic forces. So Kel'Thuzad is emphasising in his demon lines the scourge, the undead's new independence from those forces.
I offer you this one opportunity. Follow, or be destroyed. For the Lich King. The Scourge serve your kind no longer, demon.
The prime evils take no commands from you. Obey me and follow.
I serve only the Lich King.
In many ways, Kel'Thuzad is the reason for Sylvanas' death and undeath. Arthas fought his way to Kel'Thuzad in the Sunwell, home of the High Elves for 9,000 years, to bathe the dead mage's body in its waters and restore him to life as a lich. In the battle for the kingdom, Sylvanas was slain by Arthas and restored to life as a banshee, so Kel'Thuzad and Sylvanas aren't exactly best pals.
Sylvanas the traitor. I'll have to watch my back, lest I find an arrow in it.
Hold your tongue, or I'll tear it out. I thought I was done suffering fools.
Your suffering has yet to begin.
Jaina, as of now in the World of Warcraft storyline, is no longer a member of the Kirin Tor, but she used to be, and when she was serving in that organisation a long time ago, she was in a relationship on and off with Arthas before he became all Lich King and a little bit insane. The two of them actually, when Lordaeron was being overtaken by plague, actually hunted down and tracked Kel'Thuzad. So Jaina's not a massive fan of Kel'Thuzad as a result.
Jaina, you know the Lich King still offers you a place by his side.
Never. Your day will come, Lich. The Alliance will see to it. If it isn't the traitor Kel'Thuzad.
Ah, Antonidas' lapdog. How is he, by the way? Still dead?
And in the World of Warcraft community, there's an ongoing joke or meme that because Jaina has become so serious, so revengeful in recent expansions, that she might be a Dreadlord. She gets a Dreadlord skin, of course, in Heroes of the Storm, and these get specific voice lines too.
Fight, kill, and die for your master! Let none survive!
I will serve, Lich Lord. Just play your part. My counsel is yours, Lord Kel'Thuzad.
And so it had best remain. Your kind's penchant for betrayal is no secret, demon.
Uther was the first paladin of the Knights of the Silver Hand. As a mentor to Arthas, he was actually slain by Arthas, after Arthas had returned bearing Frostmourne, the rune blade of the Lich King, and after Arthas had killed his father. Now, Uther had been defending a magical urn holding the ashes of Arthas' father, which is what Kel'Thuzad refers to here.
Ah, Uther. Always meant to thank you for the urn. It's made quite the phylactery.
Oh? Are you expecting me to give a damn? Ha! That's rich. A necromancer, eh? Can't say I'm a fan of your kind.
What are you implying, Paladin? That all necromancers sound alike?
In the Call of Kel'Thuzad animated introduction, we see Kel'Thuzad taking the barbarian from Diablo, Sonya, and reimagining her as a Death Knight, as well as Zagara being a Crypt Mother. Both have new lines for their new skins.
Death Knight, show them no mercy.
We will crush the life from them Our enemies will lie broken and bleeding.
And then their service begins. Crypt Mother Zagara, I am counting on your strength.
Let us show these fools the fury of the swarm. Finally, a suitable ally.
Suitable? Remember who you serve, Crypt Mother.
Admiral Stukov in this StarCraft universe was infested by the Zerg swarm, and Kel'Thuzad wonders if it's a little similar to the plague that he knows.
This infestation of yours is too similar to the plague for my liking.
Get lost! You can't compare with my powers.
And Murky the Murloc gets his own interaction with Kel'Thuzad as always, with a bit of a warning too.
I'm sorry. Are you lost? Your curiosity will be the death of you, Murky. Over and over again.
And to round up, KT has a few other funny lines. He's got an intro for Hearthstone heroes. He's got a response to Valera. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be to because I can't see the file yet. And also a bunch of other positive, negative and other interactions that you can hear here.
We finally meet. I see. An acceptable ally. You. This presents an unfortunate complication. Your curiosity will be the death of you. There are few situations I'm not prepared for. I foresee no complications. Oh, how your soul shall suffer for that. Oh, so be it. How peculiar. Enough. I grow tired of this distraction. An intriguing notion. Be silent, and I may yet tolerate your presence. This shall prove an amusing diversion.
And last but not least, KT has kill lines. Now he has these for Arthas, Sonya, Jaina as a Dreadlord, Kel'Thuzad, Leoric, Tyrell, Undead, Uther, Warcraft 3 heroes, Crypt Mother Zagara, Zerg, and his characteristic Warcraft Mr. Bigglesworth line too.
Return soon, my king. Your services are no longer required, Death Knight. The Scourge serves demons no longer. Your betrayal is not a surprise, Dreadlord. There's only room for one KT around here. No, you kneel! That one was on a killing spree. Was that Valkyr missing a face? I have no tolerance for traitors. Ah, now that takes me back. Ah, nostalgia. Back to your grave, Crypt Mother. Remind me to resurrect one of these Zerg later. No! A curse upon you, interloper!
Thanks very much for tuning in to my Heroes of the Storm Kel'Thuzad voice lines and interactions, as well as some lore too. Please do let me know what you thought, whether you're a Heroes fan, Overwatch fan or otherwise, in the comments below, and throw a like if you enjoyed. I do a lot of Overwatch lore, hero voice lines and interactions too. Do check out those videos in the playlist below, and do let me know what Heroes of the Storm hero you'd like me to cover next. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.